Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. So, a few days or weeks ago, I don't know, man, time flies by, guys. Not too long ago, there was people saying that Jokic is going to be the worst MVP in NBA history, guys. The worst MVP in NBA history. So, for today's video, man, we got a video by Wilson C right here titled, Where Would 2021 Jokic Have Finished in the Last 10 NBA MVP Races? Just to give us a little bit of a comparison. Now, I think Jokic is putting up crazy ass numbers. His efficiency is off the charts, man. I mean, the guy does everything at the center position. Everything you want your center to do and then some. So, yeah, I don't know if I really agree with him being the worst MVP of all time. But then again, I guess somebody has to be. So let's check this video out by Wilson C. And C, the worst MVP in NBA history. Okay, that was too much. I'll tone it back. Get my light on me, man. There we go. Okay, we're good.
Hey guys, my name's Wilson. Many teams with just 10 games left in the 2020.
By the way, I see his video has a ton of dislikes. I don't know why. It seems like maybe shooting in the messenger. It's like he's just telling us what it is. But we'll see the video, right?
It's pretty evident and crystal clear. Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets on his way to winning his first ever MVP award, becoming the first second rounder
in my opinion,
to ever do so. Not because he's putting up crazy astronomical numbers or that Denver's the best team in the NBA, but because all the other superstar candidates have been hurt and missed way too many games in a shortened season with 72 games.
I mean, even with that, it's like a lot of that to me is just like speculation because we don't know how the other guys would have done compared to Jokic. The only like big time case I can say who maybe is not going to win it due to injury, no doubt, is Embiid. I think Embiid's just been pretty much just as good as Jokic, maybe in different ways, but he's missed a lot more games. So, compared to Jokic.
Also wouldn't help their case, which is why the MVP discussion kind of died down in April since it's pretty clear. With that said, let's take a look at 2021 Jokic and where he ranks amongst the last 10 MVP
All right, here we
winners.
go.
Starting with last season, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who was a force to be reckoned with, a better record in 2020 than 21. Milwaukee, best offensive team in the league, 53.
Yeah, I was going to win this season too, to be honest.
Denver at 41 and 21 will realistically get the 4th seed. Nuggets this season, despite Murray being out the last month and a half, finished nowhere close to Milwaukee. Giannis' insane numbers, almost 30 points, 14 boards, 6 assists, 55% shooting, plus being above 10 games better than current Jokic now. Both Joker and Giannis efficiencies unreal, but
they were on pace for a 70-win season, man, before the
first place votes last season.
Shutdown.
LeBron deservingly finished second, putting up a casual 26, 8, and 10, 50% shooting. Yes, Jokic this season very similar numbers and even more efficient in some ways, but James's Lakers 49
and doing it at the center
overall,
spot, which I think is even more impressive.
A lot better than Jokic's Nuggets, a better record than the current Utah Jazz even by more than 3 games. That's how impressive James and AD were, while third place James Harden averaged over 34, 6, and 7, a monster season as well, but Houston wasn't too impressive during the up and down year.
Says does not include bubble. Y'all see that? Okay.
Team finished 40 and 24 overall March 10th before the shutdown. Denver a better record now. Harden started red hot but cooled off, while it was Westbrook who took over for the Rockets the second half of the season. Also had a stretch of 4 straight losses. Houston was actually the 6th seed but finished 4th after the restart. Jokic more deserving case.
So we're behind Giannis and LeBron.
If this was 2020. While 2019, Giannis once again the MVP, best regular season team, 60 wins because the Bucks didn't have to deal with adversity. Consistently good. Greek Freaks over 27 points, 12 and a half, board 6, over a steal and a block, 58% shooting, proved worthy of the award. Milwaukee 4 and 6.
Bro, that's just giving me a headache looking at that.
The team was already 48 and 14.
PT Max,
after a
how does that mean?
Win streak. That's 7 games better.
Max
than
points, 1,010 points.
A similar record to the 2020 Lakers. In over 3 games against the current Utah Jazz, while Harden won.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Playoff P that season, he was a monster for OKC.
Impressive single seasons all time to not name the MVP, was closer to second place than LeBron in 2020. Highest scoring season since MJ. No CP3 for 1/3 of the season. 28 40-point games, even average over 40 for a full calendar month. 9 50-point games. The big knock on him, Houston started 11 and 14 overall. Since the season started mid-October and those early games counted, hard to look past that. Even with Paul's injuries, Harden's Rockets finished 53 wins, although Houston finished 42-15 the rest of the way, and the Bucks 43-14. If it was December to April, the MVP would have absolutely went to Harden.
Yeah, we got Jokic just standing there on defense, man. Come on now.
Third place Paul George, who balled out, averaged 28, 8 and 4 over 2 steals. Up until the 60-game mark, he was still in the race, but after a minor injury, OKC had a setback.
Jokic is better than Paul George that
33,
season.
the 6th seed.
Right now,
no
he is.
first place votes. 2021 Jokic would be ahead of 2019 PG based on Murray's injury.
So behind Harden and Giannis, okay.
More efficient season. Denver would be on pace for a 55-win season in 82 games. 2018, Jokic not finishing ahead of James Harden.
Bro, what
best
is that
regular
jacket,
season
man?
team in the
What
better
the hell,
conference.
bro?
No debate. 65 wins, well deserved. Over 30 points, 5.5 boards, 9 assists. Despite missing 10 games, still good enough to win 86% first place votes. While LeBron's 50-win Cavs finished 4th in the East, the lowest seed he finished since the 2008 season. Jokic's Nuggets about to finish 4th, estimated for a 55
Damn, identical three-point shooting.
Although LeBron a monster overall and the better player, Jokic's Nuggets didn't have much drama, just some early struggles. The Cavs drew 61 games that year, 36-25 overall. That's 5 full games behind the current Nuggets. There were many games Cleveland came out with no energy.
Sickest move of all time right there, man.
Because of the better standings, I would give 2021 Jokic a slight nod in the MVP race. He would finish number 2 behind Harden in my book. 2017, a very difficult year to evaluate because Russ won the MVP, becoming the first player in over 50 years to average a triple-double for an entire season. Westbrook a rare MVP winner given his situation. James Harden's team won 55 games, put up monster numbers as well, 2 rebounds shy of averaging a triple-double. Jokic essentially 2 assists shy from averaging 1 this season. It was all about the iconic stat everybody became so obsessed with. Now consider an afterthought stat given how the game is played.
And now it's just something you do every damn night.
Better advanced numbers, all that, but Kawhi Leonard's Spurs won 61 games. Before the season started, the Nuggets were supposed to be a top seed, while OKC in 2017 wasn't even supposed to make the playoffs, and Houston 55 wins exceeded all expectations. It would have been a 3-man race for sure, but Jokic likely would have finished 3rd, given great stats alongside Harden and Russ. One of these guys actually accomplished the historic feat. With all the noise and how impressive it was on paper, I do believe 2017 Harden also gets the slight edge.
Yo, we ain't gonna see the comparison to Steve Nash, are we?
The Rockets didn't have another all-star player.
That's the perspective I need to see.
And got better after getting rid of Dwight Howard. At least Jokic had Murray for 48 games, who averaged 21 points. 2016, no chance, 0. Steph Curry, 100%, unanimous, no debates, no buts about it. But given the pace 5 years ago, teams just averaged 103 points per game compared to 112 5 years later. Based in 2021 pace, 2016
Curry put up better numbers this year, hasn't he?
33 points if he wanted to. Kawhi an easy 21, Defensive Player of the Year for the lowest 67-win team Spurs, while LeBron's stats not as high as other years, but Cleveland did win 50.
Damn, I'm looking at that, I'm just like, if you got quiet number 2, was why we just like, where's Jimmy Butler at this year, man?
57 games, his number similar to 27, 8 and 8 in today's pace, so Joker would be 4th that year.
Kind of a weak MVP year.
Gotten a few first place votes, given Curry and the Warriors weren't fully established yet. 67 wins,
23
league
points?
average only 100 points a game, 12 more points scored in today's game. Steph's numbers weren't too eye-popping, 24 a game, 4 and 8, 49% shooting, while Harden led Houston to 56 wins, tied for number 2 in the West, over 27, 6
Got me dropping 37 damn chance now.
Ariza, second option Dwight Howard missed half the season, Pat Bev only 55 games, Corey Brewer and Josh Smith late pickups, nowhere near the supporting cast Jokic currently has, even without Murray. Houston still impressively won 56 games with that squad. Individual scoring wasn't as crazy back then, with Westbrook 28.1 points led the league in scoring, Harden number 2, 27.4, LeBron at 3, just over 25.
Yeah, but supporting cast, I feel like with the thing about Jokic is like, it's like, yes, the Nuggets are a good team, but Jokic makes them that much better.
3 weeks left in the 2021 season, 15 guys are averaging above 25
they can pass like that.
And that doesn't even include superstars KD and LeBron, who missed plenty of games with injuries. Jokic would not average 27 a game 6 years ago. His scoring would be closer to 23.5 points, would likely grab the same amount of boards, 1 fewer assists. I would rank him number 3 behind Harden, but ahead of LeBron, since Cleveland won 53 games and James James missed 13 games that regular season.
So what I'm getting out of this is James Harden's most disrespected player of all time.
59 wins, good for the second
Got
best
about 20
record in the
MVPs.
league, a game behind San Antonio, with Westbrook nearly missing half the season. Very different game back then. Perimeter guys weren't emerging yet. Durant and LeBron, two of the best players that season. LeBron's Heat underachieved.
Damn, KD averaged 32 that year?
James at his two-way peak, efficiency through the roof, averaged 27, 7, and 6, nearly 57% shooting. If this current Nuggets team played in the West, they would finish anywhere between the 4 to 6 seed. Clippers with CP3, 57
Man, so not even
wins.
close.
The Rockets with Harden and Howard. Blazers, Dame, and Aldridge, 54 wins.
Jokic
Nuggets would finish around there. When people say, oh, Bradley Beal's nearly averaging 32 a game this year, that's nowhere near the same level as Kevin Durant's 32 a game MVP season. Jokic would finish behind LeBron for third place and probably get 1 or 2 first place votes. His number for that season equivalent to 24.5 points, 11 boards, 7 assists. If 25-year-old Steph Curry and 24-year-old Harden was averaging between 24 to 25 a game, this version of Jokic would not be averaging 27 in 2014's NBA.
Beyond KD and LeBron,
no chance. Jokic, of course, finished
tough
behind
company.
LeBron, who was nearly unanimous, and also behind Durant. This current Nuggets team would finish anywhere between a 3 to 5 seed, not above OKC or San Antonio.
God said easily, man. Easily.
For third place with Prime Melo, whose Knicks captured the second seed in the East. Anthony put up 29, 7, and 3. The league average was 98 points a game, 13 fewer than today's game. That version of Melo in today's NBA
how is Kevin Durant right now?
average 32 points today. 2013
like 30,
LeBron
31?
and Durant would also easily average 32 if they wanted to, because of New York's injury with Amari and having an unhealthy roster with many old guys on their last legs. Even Melo was great enough to receive 1 first place vote.
Well, damn, they
Jokic
traded
would
everybody
likely
to get
finish
Melo.
fourth for 2013, slightly ahead of CP3 and behind Melo. 2012, a shortened year, LeBron best player in the game, Miami number 2 in the East,
Tony Parker
receiving most of the first place votes. Durant's Thunder number 2 in the West behind San Antonio, both very efficient, better player than current Jokic, of course. CP3's Clippers finished 40 and 26, Kobe's Lakers 42 and 24.
See, that's why I can't say he's the worst MVP of all time, because we're literally like, the era we're comparing him to is literally like KD and LeBron James. Like, you could probably say these are like the 2 greatest small forwards of all time. I mean, you know, I guess obviously there's arguments for like Larry Bird and Dr. J and stuff, but
Denver right now,
LeBron's the greatest small forward.
A little better record than Kobe's Lakers. Durant and Bryant,
KD's top 5 for sure.
Scores at
No
28
doubt.
points. The league
Maybe
averaged
number 2.
96.3 points that season, lowest since the 04 year, slowest pace since 2006. Who knows if the NBA league average would ever get that low again?
96
the
points per
Sturts,
game.
and all riches of the world were averaging
paint
between
dry.
21 to 23 points. Kevin Love 26 a game. Empty stats for Minnesota. I would project this current version of Jokic to average around 22.5 a game, 11 boards, 7 dimes. Because of his efficiency, I would rank him slightly above Paul for third place, but behind KD and LBJ. 2011, Derrick Rose far and away the MVP.
But even like the way the center position was played back then, it's like, I mean, I understand what he's doing. He's like comparing and kind of like normalizing the stats and everything based off of like how the game was played that year. But like, the type of center Jokic is, I mean, they probably just have him damn the entire post the entire damn game on the block or whatever.
Because his team won a league best 62
maybe a few
games,
pop out
despite
threes,
not
but
being the best player or anywhere
like a
close.
Brad Miller.
The regular season winner of the award doesn't mean the guy's the best player or even top 3. Based on the circumstances, the league's average almost at 100 points. Nobody averaged over 20.
Wait, LeBron was 3rd in voting this year? I always heard people saying that LeBron should have got it over Derrick Rose, but hey, I'm not one of them, man.
28.
Shout out to D Rose that year, man.
Version of
No
Durant
doubt.
would easily average 32 today. The LeBrons, Melos, and D Wades, Kobe, and Amaris of the world were putting up between 25 to 27 range. Even Dirk Nowitzki, who led Dallas to the incredible title run, only averaged 23 a game that regular season. And 2011 Dirk, way better scorer than current Jokic. That version of
Bro,
Dirk
I gotta say
would
way
average
better, man.
29 points in today's regular season in his sleep, and anyone who watched NBA back then knows that. Aside from my scoring,
Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki is one of my top 5 favorite players of all time, but to me, scoring, I don't like using the word scoring when talking about that. To me, I like talking about offense and efficiency and stuff, because Jokic, he could be damn averaging nearly 10, 20 points per game more. Probably not 20, but at least 10 points per game more if he wasn't such a good playmaker. Like, he could be taking those shots.
Input. The real argument
I think that's important.
is whether 2011 Howard better than 2021 Jokic. Scoring wise, it's the Joker, but defensively, it's absolutely Dwight Howard, who was also more valuable to his team in 2011. While James had Wade and Bosh, Rose didn't have a great supporting cast, given a lot of his players were hurt. The case for Dwight for MVP underrated
offensive Gobert
that season, but he was only a 4 seed at 52 wins. Jokic wouldn't finish ahead of LeBron's 58 win heat either, since the Nuggets weren't going to be close to getting the #1 seed and would likely finish the 4th or 5th spot. Jokic would finish 4th in my book. Many people argue, but Jokic better advanced
D-Rose the damn problem, man.
That wasn't how the MVP was measured. Chicago was the most impressive storyline that season. That's why Rose won it and deserved it, like it or not. Analytics and efficiencies wasn't measured.
I will say, when it comes down to it, Jokic, like, I do think that is actually pretty impressive with this year's MVP, is the way he's winning it. It's like, I guess maybe there is not like a great story out there, you know? So he's actually winning it by being the best basketball player.
To a high degree.
Which does not always happen.
Bryant's Lakers, at the end of the day, did win 57 games, #2 in the West. Jokic's Nuggets would be a little short of that. That's why he wouldn't get that many MVP votes. This version of Jokic back in 2011.
Bro, what a pass, man. What a pass. My God.
10 and 7. Based in the last 10 seasons, Nikola Jokic 2021 will not have won any single MVP in my opinion, and finish in these spots as I provided here, given his team being the 4 seed in the West,
man.
only something out of the ordinary like Westbrook averaging a triple-double, that's not a top 2 seed, would win the award, while the others with the 1 seed like Rose and 2015 Curry.
You only got him second 1 year behind Harden this year.
Didn't have the best stats, but having a superstar player with the best regular season team will always get high MVP considerations. This just goes to show how weird the 2021 regular season is. It's an absolute travesty. The MVP will be decided by which superstar wasn't injured and didn't miss time. If Embiid played 10 more games as a top 2 seed in the East, he would clearly win the award over Jokic, but missing around 20 games, way too much. No one knows if Joel will ever be able to play 90% of games in the full regular season ever. Thank you so much for watching this video.
All right, man, that's the end of that right there, man. I mean, he brought up a lot of good points, so, you know, he brought up a lot of good points about it. I would just say, you know, maybe looking at the last 10 years, I think you gotta look at the grand scheme of things. Because once again, like Jokic all time is not better than like LeBron, Durant, or Harden. So that's some pretty tough company. But I would say maybe if we, man, I don't know though, because like, I mean, brings up the good point with just like how the game's played now. Because like you can't really compare it to like the early 2000s either, just because the game was played so differently. But who knows? Maybe he would have. Maybe if Jokic would have played better, then he would have transitioned the game like how Steph Curry did. So maybe he would have evolved to the center position like he has now. So what do you guys all think, man? Let me know in the comment section below. It's a good video, very informational and stuff like that, and had a lot of good, you know, facts and stuff to back up his statement. So you always love seeing that. But that's all we got, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, guys.